What is up, everybody? I'm Hunter Collins, and in today's video we have a review of the Odepro Hunting Tactical Flashlight. I got this sent to me and I tested it out, so let's jump into the review and tell you guys what I think about it. Alright guys, before we get into this video, just to let you know, everything I talk about, and even some other stuff, will be linked down in the description in case you want to check any of it out or you're interested in anything that I show and or may mention. So make sure you look in the description. It'll be one of the first things, so go check it out. Get yourself a light. Possibly. Never know. I want one. Alright, so first guys, we're going to do an unboxing. So it came packaged pretty nice. I mean, what else can you really say? It comes in a big Amazon box, but this is what we're looking for. This has the flashlight in it. It comes bubble wrapped, and then I also like the case that it's in. It is a very sturdy, it's a very nice case. It's got a good look to it. Shows all the features, everything exactly that the light does on it. It talks about the different modes that the light has the different specifications of how long the colors are supposed to last in the flashlight, what exactly it does, how far they go. It talks about all that on it. So pretty cool if you ask me. And like I said, I do like this hard case. I know Elliot and I have had flashlights before that the cases, you know, they've came broke, so it's good to have a nice case. Like I said, this should protect your flashlight very much. So let's open it up. It's got some nice foam in it when we open it up, just to keep everything good and protected. But what comes with it, we have a pressure switch, then we have the batteries. Then this is what's really interesting. This is the good part. One advantage to this light. It comes with 4 different bulbs. You get one of these for green, for red, for LED, and infrared. So you have plenty of options to choose from. And they also come in these nice little cases just to keep them protected. I mean, it's just a little tiny case. But it is good to know that, you know, nothing's probably going to happen to them in this unless you use just to throw it off the side of a cliff or something. Then we have our flashlight right here. We also have the charger for it, which you can charge both batteries at once, which I like. Sometimes the flashlights that I've seen before or I've been sent, you know, that you can only charge one battery at a time, which isn't terrible, but it is nice just to be able to have two. It also comes with some different barrel attachments. So here we have a piece that we can attach to our barrel or to the rail. And then here we have the really simple, you know, just scope mount. Personally, I like using this a lot better. It just, 1, it looks better on my gun, and 2, I just like the way it feels and the access I have to it. But this right here, the little scope mount, so much quicker, so much easier. I mean, you can just put this sucker right onto your gun in just no time. So I do like that about it. I like how it comes with both options, so you can do whatever you're feeling. Everybody has a personal preference. So now let's talk about the light. I think it's very good quality. I mean, it's a lot better than I was expecting, but it is kind of on the pricier end. So, I mean, I'm not really saying that it outdid my expectations because this is an expensive light, but it did do very well. So to show you guys how the light works, Elliot and I went out a couple nights ago and we just kind of shined the lights around. We tested all the different bulbs and different settings, and we just have a bunch of footage of that. So I'm going to roll that now. Let's go ahead and jump into that so you can see how well the light works when there's no light. Alright guys, so now we're going to do the kind of field test review part of this. So it comes with 4 different lights. It has just like a normal LED light, has a red light, a green light, mostly used for hunting of course, and then a night vision scope. So Elliot and I are going to test all those right now. I'm going to show you guys. We're going to start out with the green one, and we're going to start out doing 10 yards, and then we have 100, 200, and 300 yards. It says this one's supposed to go out to about 450, but we don't quite have that. So we're just going to go out to 300 yards and show you guys what we can see at night. So let's turn the light off and show you what it can do. Alright guys, so that is approximately 10 yards, as you can tell. The camera doesn't pick it up. Elliot and I were messing with it earlier. The camera doesn't pick it up as good as our eyes can, but this whole brush pile TP looking thing right here, it's like 10 yards. You can see it perfectly. And then over here, close to 100 yards, you can see this tree line that I'm kind of moving around on. And to the naked eye, you can see that perfectly. Like if there was anything there, we could absolutely shoot it. And then if we turn this way, we're looking at more like 200 yards. But anyways, this tree line is about 200 yards. As you can see, you can still see it pretty good. And like I said, once again, to the naked eye, Elliot and I can see this just perfectly. If there was anything there, like through a scope, we would have no problem shooting it. You could probably even, I mean, if you had something with open sights that you wanted to shoot that far, you could probably still do it. I mean, it's pretty bright. The light does a very nice job. And then the last one's 300. There is a ridge over here. You can kind of see it because you can see the ridge because when you kind of move it up and down, it disappears and goes away, and then it comes back, and you can see the ridge line. However, it's not the best. Like if something was there and it was dead still, or it was just standing the right way, you could probably see it enough to get a shot on it if you had a nice piece of glass on your gun. But other than that, out to around 300 yards or more, the light's not going to do you very much good from what I'm seeing right here. I mean, the camera doesn't look as good as it does to us, but we still cannot see very much at 300 yards. Like I said, a good piece of glass and whatever you're shooting at standing the right way, you could probably hit it, but 300 or more is pushing it for this light. So let's switch over to the next light, the red light, and see what it can do. All right, guys, so now we got the red light. We're gonna test it out a little bit, but same thing, 10 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards. The red light's only rated to go to 240, so we're not expecting it to look as good. And also, we just know from experience that red lights usually aren't as bright. So let's go ahead and check it out. We'll start with 10 yards. So as you guys can see, this is the same brush pile we looked at the first time. Once again, like 10 yards, obviously you can see everything perfectly fine. I mean, you can even make out details in that brush pile. So, I mean, it's clear, it's nice. One thing Elliot and I did note though, is that the camera picks up the red light better. So like when you're looking at the images from the camera, it just seems like, you can see better for some reason. It's just the way the camera picks up colors. But to the naked eye, Elliot and I can make out stuff a lot better, especially when we start going out these longer distances. Like here's 100 yards, and I mean, this red light looks absolutely great to me at 100 yards. We can see that ridge line perfectly. If there was anything there, we would have no problem whatsoever shooting at it. I mean, that's just basically crystal clear to me. And the green light, did about the same thing. It's just a little bit brighter, but I think the red light personally at this distance, the 100 yards, looks a little clearer because it's not, as bright to me. So if we move over to 200 yards, we look at this ridge line over here, and once again, you can see it pretty good. And I think once again, the red light to me, at like this, between 100 and 200 yards, I think it might look a little better because it's just not as bright. The green light, it's almost like when you're in your bedroom and you wake up in the morning, you turn the lights on, it kind of hurts you. The green light kind of gives me that effect when you're shooting 1 to 200 compared to this red light. It just seems a lot easier on my eyes, but yet I can still see perfectly. Now I know when we move out, now we're looking at 300 yards, this same ridge we were looking at earlier. With the green light, like I said, you could take a shot on it, and the better glass you had, the better your target was standing and everything, it would be easier to shoot. But I don't know, regardless of all other factors, if I would take a shot with this light at 300 yards. I mean, that's very faint, but it's only rated to 240, so I would say good job on the bulb for this red light. So let's switch to the LED now and see what basically a normal flashlight can do. Alright guys, so now we've switched it to the white light, just basically LED light, and we're going to do the same test with 10 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards, and 300 yards. And this flashlight also comes with 5 different modes. It has a strobe, it has a SOS, and then it has a low, medium, and high setting. So we're just going to basically show you the different settings and then kind of test the high out more or less. Just focus on it with the longer distances to see how bright this thing actually is and how far it'll actually shine. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so here's the strobe. As you can see, it's pretty fast. I mean, it's a strobe light. Alright, so this is the SOS light, and then if we turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it back on, That's the low setting. And as you can see, that's not very bright. That's like 10 yards away. But this is like, I mean, you can still see pretty good. Like even out to 100 yards, it works. I mean, you can't see perfectly, but if you were just like walking around the house, or you know, maybe going outside to check on something really quick, this would be like a good setting to just not blind yourself completely. Now if we go to medium, then it's a lot brighter. I mean, you can see out to 100 yards very well with the medium light. And then this brush pile, you can see everything clear. Still very, very big, very bright. It's almost too bright though if you were going to hold it down in front of you while you were like walking. It just kind of hurts your eyes because it is a very bright flashlight. So if we go to the final setting, this is as bright as it can get, and that brush pile is just completely lit up. It's got a nice circle, as you can see around it, like very, very wide area for the light. And then if we move out to 100 yards, we can clearly see everything over there. The camera, once again, as it does with all the other lights, doesn't do it quite as much justice as the naked eye can, but I mean, it feels like we're in a room, like with that ridge 100 yards away. We can see everything, no problem. And then if we switch over here to 200 yards, it doesn't really look any different, to be honest. Like it looks almost exactly identical to the 100 yards we just looked at. I mean, to the naked eye, that is just perfect. Once again, almost like you're in a room with that ridge 200 yards away. I mean, there would be no problem making out anything that was over there. So let's see if we can go to 300 and see anything. Woo! Oh no, that's dangerous, guys. That is a bright light. So I don't know how well the camera picks this up, but this is, I wouldn't say it's way better than the green light, but it's definitely better than the green light. This LED picks up the furthest, and I don't know if that's just because our eyes pick up the light better, or it's LED, or if it's just the light's brighter in general. But that ridge is just a little clearer to us. I don't know if I want to say it's a lot brighter than the green light, but it's 100% clear. We'd have no problem seeing anything there. And I think it might even be able to go a little further than 300. I don't know how much luck you'd have, you know, seeing stuff after that. But I mean, if you were using this flashlight, I mean, just about anything you would use an LED flashlight for that I can think of, I mean, this light just, I mean, job well done. I mean, it's very bright. So the only thing we have left to do is to try out an infrared scope. There was a bulb that came for the flashlight that you can attach and use as an infrared light. So we're going to strap that on and see what happens. Okay guys, so now I'm going to show you how to change the bulbs if you want to. Basically, you just take the top and bottom and just twist them off. Then the battery piece is going to come off, and then you're just going to have the head of the flashlight. Then once you just have the head of the flashlight, you're just going to want to twist it off. It just works like any other flashlight or anything you're taking the bulb out of or anything. Just be careful with it. Make sure you don't break anything. Just be careful when you pull it out, and put your light that you just took out back in the thing. That way nothing gets broke, you don't have to worry about anything going wrong. And then once you do that, all you have to do is just redo what you just did. So put the light back on, wait for it to thread, screw this part on. And when that's nice and tight, all you need to do is attach it back to the battery piece. And then you now have a red light. So changing the bulbs is pretty simple, not bad at all, especially just to be able to switch from one to the other like that. I mean, it's very, very nice. That way you don't need several lights, or, you know, it's not a big process. You just switch a bulb out real quick, and it's got everything you could possibly need: the red, the green, the infrared, and just a white LED light. So I think that's a very, very good plus to this flashlight. So with that being said, guys, and showing you that, I just want to kind of give an overall and kind of some final thoughts on the Odepro KL41PLUS light. Like I mentioned several times in the review, this is a pretty pricey light, especially for what Elliot and I have been used to using. Yes, the light did very, very good in everything we tested it in, but the thing is, it is a $120 light. So I was expecting this light to do everything it said it did, to come in nice packaging, and it did exactly that. It shined beautifully at night. It outperforms our other lights we've tried out. You know, it is better. However, I'm not sure if I would say that it's worth the $120. I think it's very personable what you want to spend on a light. If you're looking for an everything light and you have the money to spend, I would say go ahead and go for it. It's a great light. Does everything you want. It comes with everything you could possibly want it to come with. The thing is, it's $120. If you're on Amazon just looking for a budget light, then I think that maybe some other options might suit you better. However, if you've got the money and you're looking to spend it and you want something that's just a one-stop shop, has everything you need, I would definitely recommend this light. So please make sure to check it out. It'll be linked down in the description. I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Many more to come, so stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button and you won't ever miss another video. But that's going to be it for me. We'll catch you guys next time. And as always, take someone outdoors.